Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. The Tang dynasty poet Du Mu wrote the Rhapsody of Ipang Palace. The entire rhapsody employs rich imagination, utilizing descriptive and exaggerated techniques. With a musical rhythm full of ups and downs. It unfolds with grandeur, elegant yet not ostentatious. Resplendent yet not frivolous, vigorous in momentum, and bold in style. The Ipang Palace itself is considered one of the four great construction projects of Qin Shi Huang. However, by the time of Qin Shi Huang's death, the palace remained unfinished. Due to various reasons, construction was halted, ultimately making it one of history's most infamous, abandoned projects. In recent years, archaeologists have successfully discovered the ruins of Ipang Palace. And its immense scale is truly astonishing, testifying to the grandeur and magnificence of Qin-era architecture. Even the United Nations once praised Ipang Palace as the greatest palace under heaven. So, what exactly lay within this legendary palace? Why did Qin Shi Huang build Ipang Palace? Before the discovery of Ipang Palace's ruins, many historians believed that the palace had long been reduced to ashes. Amidst the chaos of war when Xiang Yu led his army in an attack. Additionally, people speculated that Ipang Palace was built on high ground. However, a groundbreaking archaeological discovery in 2015 overturned this assumption. The front hall of Ipang Palace was not constructed entirely on an elevated plain, but instead incorporated an ancient riverbed. This design not only showcases the advanced architectural techniques of the Qin dynasty, but also reveals the meticulous planning of Qin Shi Huang for Ipang Palace. The central axis of Ipang Palace faces south, directly aligned with the majestic Qinling Mountains, perfectly matching the central axis of Xianyang, the capital of Qin. This alignment demonstrates Qin Shi Huang's immense regard for Ipang Palace. So, why did he build such a grand palace? Archaeological findings indicate that even just the core area of Ipang Palace covered 23,000 square meters. An overwhelming scale. According to records of the grand historian, Shiji, Qin had established its capital in Xianyang, whereas the capital of the Zhou dynasty had been in Haojing. Logically, Haojing should have been the Qin state's cradle of power. However, after Qin Shi Huang ascended the throne, he did not relocate the capital, but continued to rule from Xianyang. As the Qin Empire expanded, Xianyang's population surged, and the city grew increasingly overcrowded. In response, Qin Shi Huang envisioned the construction of an even grander imperial capital, thus initiating the construction of Ipang Palace. This colossal palace was not merely a symbol of Qin Shi Huang's consolidation of a unified empire, but also an embodiment of centralized power, intended to demonstrate the supreme authority of the emperor to all his subjects. Some speculate that Qin Shi Huang built Ipang Palace for love, but such a notion seems overly romanticized. As a ruler of great ambition and strategic vision, his concerns extended far beyond mere sentimental affairs. The unfinished fate of Ipang Palace. According to historical records, from the time Qin Shi Huang began construction until his death in 210 BCE during his eastern tour, Ipang Palace was never completed. After Hu Hai ascended the throne, he redirected all labor forces to Lishan to construct the imperial tomb. Only after the completion of Qin Shi Huang's mausoleum was there time to resume work on Ipang Palace. However, the day's township uprising soon erupted, and construction halted once again. Hu Hai wanted to continue the project, but Li Si, Feng Quji, and others opposed it. Enraged, Hu Hai had them arrested and executed. Later, Zhao Gao assassinated the second emperor of Qin, plunging the empire into chaos. With the Qin dynasty in turmoil, no one cared about finishing Ipang Palace anymore. The scale and architecture of the Ipang Palace. In recent years, archaeological excavations of the Epang Palace site have revealed more of its secrets. Through these investigations, experts have identified the front hall, confirming that only its foundation was completed in what was originally intended to be the vast Epang Palace. The palace primarily consisted of two major architectural complexes, the Front Hall Complex and the Shangtian Platform Complex. Archaeological findings indicate that the entire Epang Palace covered an estimated area of 135 square kilometers. Even the ruins of just the front hall span 545,000 square meters, equivalent to about 90 football fields. From this single structure, one can grasp the enormous scale of the entire palace. Key architectural discoveries. Beyond the front hall, archaeologists have uncovered several other ruins. One notable find is the magnetic stone gate, one of the palace's main entrances. This gate was said to have magnetic properties that could attract iron, serving as a defensive measure against assassins. Additionally, it showcased the Qin dynasty's technological advancements and sophistication. Historical records provide varying accounts of the magnetic stone gate's location. However, based on archaeological evidence, its remains were identified to the north of the Epang Palace ruins. Other significant discoveries include Lan Pool, Lanqi believed to be the sleeping quarters of Emperor Qin Shi Huang. Shangtian Platform, a structure used for celestial worship. Earth Sacrificial Altar, a site dedicated to land worship. Another grand structure linked to Epang Palace was Shanglin Garden, which extended over vast areas, including present-day Chang'an and Huxian. The garden was initially abandoned in the early Han dynasty but was later restored by Emperor Wu of Han as an imperial hunting ground for raising birds and training archery. Modern discoveries and global recognition. In the 1950s, local farmers accidentally unearthed numerous, cloud-patterned tiles while digging soil in the northern part of the ruins. Subsequent archaeological investigations confirmed the presence of large-scale buildings. The eventual discovery of city walls helped match these ruins to the historical records of Acheng. Today, only a massive rammed earth platform remains of Epang Palace's front hall. This structure measures approximately 1,320 meters in length and 420 meters in width. Remarkably, it is the largest known rammed earth foundation ever discovered in the world. In 1992, the United Nations recognized Epang Palace as a world wonder. Furthermore, the palace was officially designated by the United Nations as the greatest palace on earth, signifying not only the grandeur of the Qin dynasty but also its enduring influence on Chinese palace architecture. The title, Greatest Palace on Earth, is no exaggeration. The fire and preservation efforts. On the eastern bank of the Epang Palace ruins, archaeologists found the remnants of Shanglin Garden, where a significant amount of burnt bricks and tiles were unearthed. This evidence suggests that the garden suffered a massive fire, which aligns with historical accounts of Xiang Yu setting Epang Palace ablaze. In 2012, the local government established an archaeological site park at the ruins to showcase the cultural heritage of the Chinese civilization. Preserving historical relics is always a priority, and the Epang Palace ruins were designated as a National Key Cultural Relic Protection Unit in 1961, reflecting their immense historical value. Xi'an originally developed a scenic area for Epang Palace, but due to urban planning adjustments, it was dismantled and replaced with the more formal and expansive National Archaeological Site Park seen today. Currently, Chinese archaeologists adhere to the principle of minimal and gradual excavation to ensure maximum preservation of the site. This scientific and meticulous approach allows researchers to uncover more historical mysteries hidden within artifacts, ultimately shedding light on the glorious legacy of Epang Palace and the Qin dynasty. This is the History and Culture channel. Liking and subscribing are the greatest help and support to us. Thank you everyone and see you in the next time.